All right, RainBaes. So we are actually now in day 3 of trying to get a hold on the garden. So on day 2, the only thing that I was able to really do was to come out and to water my plants. And then, like I said, the whole situation, by the time I finished watering, I was burnt out. It was hot. I was ready to go in the house. So now it's early once again, and if you're gardening, you know, especially during the summer months, the best time to come outside to do any type of garden work is either early in the morning or later in the evening. And for me, by evening time, I'm not gonna get a chance to come out here, so I'd much rather do it in the morning while the bugs are sleeping somewhat. Today is garbage day. I will be getting rid of my cucumber plants, and I'm debating on getting rid of all. I think I got like 5 tomato plants. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of all 5 and like pull them out the ground. I might just cut some of them back and pull some of them. I'm not totally sure about how I'm going to go about it, but the cucumber plant is dying off, and to be honest, I'm over cucumbers. We got pickles for a couple of months at least, and I have no idea what to do with cucumbers anymore. This is a cucumber plant right here. It's definitely dying off. It's turning yellow. It's getting sick, so it has to go. And I think going forward, I'm not going to do cucumbers, or if I do cucumbers, I'll probably only do 1. And I still have cucumbers growing on my deck as well that are just deciding to pop out. So I don't need cucumbers. I don't really want them anymore. They've become a headache, and it's almost the same way with tomatoes. The only reason why I'm debating on keeping some of my tomato plants is because, well, one, they're all still producing, but I have noticed that there's a lot of like, I don't know if it's the hornworms that are eating them or what have you, but I've noticed that they're sick. But we do eat a lot of like pico or like tomato sauces and stuff like that. Even though I have tomato sauces in the freezer still, I'll always do tomatoes because it's a staple in the house. You can use tomatoes for so many different things. And like I said, maybe 1 cucumber plant, that's about it. Because when I planted 2 right next to each other, when I'm telling you, this thing has completely taken over, and it has become a job maintaining it itself. So I'm super happy that it's dying off. I'm not even going to lie. It's garbage day. I'm ready to get rid of it. Before I go ahead and pull it out, let me show y'all why I'm so ready to get rid of this thing here. And like I said, the bugs are just sleeping right now. So the bee is just chilling on the leaf. And I know as soon as I go to pull this out the ground, I'm disturbing a lot of bugs, but aphids, bees, flies, beetles, just I've been feeding the environment, which is cool. But to prepare for fall time, I'm ready to get this out the ground. And I also feel like it's taking away from my loofah that I have trying to grow over here. I feel like as soon as I pull this up, then my loofah plant will actually really take off. But yeah, it's dying and it's just overgrown. I also got to get rid of these wildflowers back there because they're just falling all over the place. They're like 7-8 feet tall, and the bugs are literally just, I can see a bunch of bugs just sleeping on leaves. I know as soon as I go to pull this out, bugs are not going to be happy. So I am putting on my armor so that I don't get ate by bugs when I go to stick my arms in here to rip this thing out. I honestly feel like I should have worn my garden hat, or my hat, just a hat in general, so nothing gets in my hair, especially I just washed my hair. But it is what it is. Got on some heavy duty gloves to pull this thing out, and there's some smushy cucumbers in there. Really not my speed, y'all. Very easily freaked out, grossed out, but it has to get done. So come on, let's pull this out the ground. literally did not think out how hard it would be to get this out of the ground. I'm literally out of breath, and there's actually 3 tray leaves supporting this cucumber plant. So it's mostly, well, these 2 cucumber plants, it's mostly out the ground. I just hope I'm able to take everything off of it before the garbage people come. Okay. I can finally see my edamame. Like, oh my gosh, this really took over a lot, and I need to hurry up and move it because it's sick, and I got a lot of other stuff over here. But look how much open space I have, or I'm about to have. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna try to see if there's any cucumbers that I can salvage before I just pull off my reusable garden ties and throw this whole thing away. I love these reusable garden ties from Aldi's. You literally just push it through, it ties and holds your stuff, and then there's this little button right here. You push this out to release it. Works like a charm. Definitely going to be sanitizing these though, so I'm gonna stick them in my pocket. So much caterpillar poop. I almost feel like I need a grown-up to help me because I'm too childish to be touching bug poop. Like, ew, it's disgusting. Actually, I'm not going to go ahead and pull anything off, any twist ties off, anything like that, because I'm nervous, y'all. I keep feeling like I hear the garbage trucks, the garbage people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, drag this up to where they pick up my garbage from, and then up there, if while I'm taking it apart, getting it off the trellis, if I see anything that I might want, which I probably don't want anything, or any twist ties that I might need to take off of there, that's where I'll do it, because I'm nervous. I'm like, is that them? That's them. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this to the front of my house, and then I'll be right back. All right, this is what we're left with after pulling out the massive cucumber plants. I had to make sure I walked my yard on my way to my front to make sure I got all the diseased plants, but still got to get rid of this stuff that's up here and on here. So I'm about to get a trash bag and fill that up with this. I tried to see if I could salvage any of the cucumbers that was still on there. Most of them had holes in it, which is an indicator that some type of bug, which is maybe a caterpillar, is living inside of it, eating it from the inside. So I don't even want them. I don't feel like cutting and looking through to see if there's any bugs in there. Accidentally knocked out some of my flowers. So this is the second time actually that I accidentally ripped this out the ground. So I'm going to dig another deep hole, probably somewhere else, and move it. And then one of my baby sunflowers got knocked over. What is this? I don't even know what this is. I don't know what that is. If it's a weed, I don't know. It looks like it's some type of plant though. Not sure what this is. Maybe, I don't know. I think this is a herb that I kind of just sprinkle here. I have to look to see what that is, but I'm about to clean this up. Remember I said some of these wildflowers have grown to be like 7 feet tall. So that's what has fell over here. I'm going to go ahead and tie these up. And yeah, now I have some space to walk. But before I go ahead and do that, I'm going to get a bag and throw this stuff away. This is what I'm talking about right here. These holes, like the cucumber up until like right here, it might be okay, but I don't have time for that. Like, there's something living in here, No. And that's how a lot of them looked. And honestly, it's been like that for the last couple of weeks, where by the time I get to them, something else is already living inside of it. And sometimes, like sometimes when I'm like, my kids, they like cucumbers, or if I want to make like a quick cucumber salad or something, I would be like, oh, well, I'll just cut this part off and use it. But I'm tired of seeing bugs living in my cucumbers with cucumber or bug poop. Like, it's disgusting. I don't want to eat around bug crap. Alright, look at these. These might be okay. I'll put these up. Nope, there's holes all in this. I think these sat too long, which they might be okay to eat. I'll stick these two in the compost. I don't even need seeds at this point. Like, I still have seeds from when I grew these, so maybe next season I'll save for seeds. But definitely gonna put these two in the compost. And my compost bin is like already halfway full, which is crazy. Ugh. I know when I start when everything starts to break down, it won't be as full as it is. But I am super excited for faster composting. All right, I think I've gotten rid of everything. Probably gonna pull up some of these weeds that have just grown over here. But my loofah, oh my gosh, something is trying to dig my loofah plant up, like, and it will be too late in the season, in my opinion, even though I'm in a warmer climate, to try to restart it. And it seems like every time I plant something, I'm sweating, y'all, it's hot, I got layers on, but it seems like every time I plant something right here in this area, a squirrel or something decides it wants to dig it up. That's why I had no luck growing sunflower plants over here, lettuce, nothing. Like, maybe now that it's not so much room to hide because the cucumber plant is gone, maybe now I won't have such terrible luck growing stuff in this area, because literally, yeah, something is eating my loofah. Let me show y'all. I don't know if it'll survive, y'all. Here's my loofah plant right here, and if y'all can tell, around it something has been digging around it. So I'm gonna try to put some more dirt, but it's still somewhat in the ground. I don't want to mess with it too much. But yeah, something always digs up my loofah, or not my loofah, just my plants that I put over here in general. Like, this whole area right here, every time I try to sow seeds here, once they start to sprout, and I think it's a squirrel, once they start to sprout all over here, they dig it up. Luckily, this sunflower is surviving, but the amount of weeds and stuff over here, I definitely need to pull my edamame, because I think that the sun was being blocked from it. So either that or it's just dying off. I had it in the ground for a while. Something's been eating it though, because I had way more edamame on it than what I have now. And yeah, it does not look like it's flourishing as much, but I did prop it up. I'm gonna prop up these wildflowers that are massive and taking over. And then I have one more thing that I want to do today before the garbage people come, and that is going to be cut back the tomato plants. But first I need to go ahead and get these wildflowers up off the ground because, like, can y'all see this? Like, it's literally falling over. And I love the concept of wildflowers being super tall, super big, but when it's to the point where they're falling all over the place, it's either I'm going to get rid of them or I need to give them something to climb up. So I have a wooden stake that I'm about to stick over here in the ground and twist tie them up because they're even falling into my zinnias, into my sunflower patch. Like, they're just the okra, and I might get rid of some of this okra. I'm not sure yet. I'll probably hold on to it because it is growing pretty well. It's just I have so much okra, I don't know what to do with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and prop this up, and then we'll move on to the next task. My children are woke, so I'm limited with time, but I need to get this handled. All right, here's the wooden stake I found in my shed. I have so many of these. Well, I won't even call it a wooden stake, but it's definitely a wooden stick. I got so many of these, but it's super, super long. So I'm hoping that these will be okay with it on there, because I had some smaller ones and it just did not help. I would have pulled out some previously used ones, but no. So let me try and just gather everything first. And I'm getting bit on my legs somewhat by something. Like, no one told me I would be needing to stick up wildflowers and zinnias. Like, I have no idea. I got my twist ties, and it's probably super late to be trying to stake stuff up. Definitely about to disturb some roots, but oh my goodness, do I have my hammer? I don't even think I got my hammer. All right, I have to try this again with the hammer. Put these ones in this pocket here. These are brand new. I haven't even, darn it, I dropped one. Haven't even used these ones yet. And I just hate that I put stuff so close together like this, because I'm literally stepping on plants. Literally stepping on plants. All right. So I know where I need to stick it. So let's see. All right, but I was able to, still kind of wobbly, but this will have to do. Now I'm about to put my wildflower in a ponytail. All right, so wildflowers are up. They're not looking wild. They're not falling all over the place anymore. I actually had to stick another little stake right here at the bottom because it was just too thick to tie to that wood. But the garden is looking, I know it looks wet, you probably can't tell, but it's looking so much better already. Just maintaining and getting some stuff. Look at these okras. Let me show y'all these real quick. I have to come and cut these huge okras off the okra bush, right? I need to get rid of those, maybe make some okra water, throw some in the compost, because that's what I've been doing, is just throwing stuff in the compost. I have way too much of it, but this time, after I cut them back, I'm going to be more persistent, consistent with coming outside to take them off the okra trees or off the okra bushes every 2 to 3 days. And these ones as well, because I have 5 in total. But the only reason why I couldn't really get to them like that is because of the wildflowers and the cucumbers. But so I definitely want to make sure I'm consistent with taking them and just giving them away instead of throwing them away or feeding them to the animals. All right. Ooh. Okay, so that has been removed. Which is awesome. I'm about to bring the little people out to help me take the tomatoes off of the branches before I stick them in the garbage. Removing the tray leaves because they definitely need sanitized. But happy I got that done. Might have to wait for my husband to help pull out the tomato roots itself because they are in there. But I just feel like the garden, like when you look, sometimes when you look at your plants, you can just tell that they're happier. And right now it looks like the garden can breathe, because at one point I was almost on some like, oh, the garden is looking too perfect, or like I had everything lined up in straight rows. I had everything kind of labeled, and then after a while I'm like, there's so many weeds, I need to just go ahead and just plant more and plant more. But I planted so much and everything was close together, which looks beautiful. It looks green and all of that good stuff. However, stuff needs to breathe as things get bigger, and all of that stuff needs to breathe. And I still got a long ways to go, but we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. And I've noticed too, a lot of stuff has been coming back and eating the tomatoes, which I have a ton of tomatoes, so I don't mind donating some to the bugs or the birds or the whatever, squirrels, rabbits, whatever eat them. But I don't want my garden to just be feeding pests. That's what I don't want. So it's just time to honestly start getting rid of stuff so we can get ready for the fall. Have my reusable twist ties I need to take from off of here. I put these ones on really tight. I just noticed my dog peeing all over my blackberry bush. So this is where those tomato plants were. And hey, you never know, they might grow back. You know how nature goes. Pretty resilient. But I'm going to pick up these tomatoes off the ground. And then there's also some rotten tomatoes on this plant here. And there's not really much growing on this one. So I think something is definitely infested. I also need, I'm going to leave my bell pepper plants alone because they're not really bothering me at all. but I do need to come and prune them because I noticed that they're starting to fall over because there's too many bell peppers on them. But this day was probably the most productive day in the garden, trying to make room for my fall crops. And here is the kale, y'all. Remember, I gave the kale a nice haircut because it was just too infested with white flies and cabbage worms, I believe. So, and it's already growing back, which that makes me happy. I do still need to spray them with my homemade insecticide, but I'm about to bring out the little ones so that they can help pick some of this stuff out, walk this stuff to the garbage. I was able to go ahead and replant this flower. I believe this is, I can't remember what it's called right now, but I was able to go ahead and stick that somewhere else, stick this somewhere else in the garden. That is the plant that I accidentally damaged, pulled out for now the second time while I was taking the cucumber out. But that is it for the maintenance for this week. At least all that I'll be showing you all. So I want to thank you all for watching my video, and I hope to see you all on the next one.